Hello, my name is Dr. Prince White. I work for Urban Peace Movement, and I work directly with youth of color here in beautiful Oakland, California, a place with a rich history and vibrant culture here. And I can tell you from being on the ground, one of the #1 problems our youth face is displacement and gentrification. Today, we're going to share some stories with you about our youth in the hopes that we could move closer towards an understanding and some solutions to the issues that are facing our community.
I've lived in Oakland for like 6 to 8 months now, but I've lived here previously for like a couple years. But I've mostly lived in San Francisco. I lived in San Francisco all my life, but when my grandma moved away, we had Section 8. And when she moved away, we couldn't afford the price for a house, and we couldn't keep the rent down to what we had when my grandma was living with us, so it pushed us out, and we couldn't find any apartments there, so it pushed us out to Oakland.
At the end of the 5th grade, beginning of 6th grade, we actually had to leave from our apartments down here on 2551 San Pablo, and we had to move from there to Richmond. The reason why we had to move from there because this white person pretty much just bought the whole building and gave my grandma, I think like $2,700 or whatnot, like to move out the apartment so we can move to Richmond. It was difficult pretty much for like 3 months. We had to go back and forth to our cousin's house, stay with them. I still was traveling to school in West Oakland because my grandma didn't want to transfer our schools because it was good out there and she didn't like the schools in Richmond.
I currently live on the borderline of Lake Merritt in East Oakland. My mother has a housing voucher that allows her to live in Oakland, for a longer period of time because her rent's lowered. I never knew if we were poor or rich, but as I got to a certain age, I realized that we didn't have a lot of money, and my mother just worked with what she had.
I live with my parents. We stay in an apartment. It's horrible. Rent's hella high. For 1 bedroom, a studio was like $1,800.
My mom actually recently went through gentrification with, she's on Section 8, so they kicked her out of her house basically because they were like, if you can't give us $300,000 for the house, you gotta go, and they gave her a notice. It really inconvenienced her because both my little brothers were in school at the time, and we had to commute all the way from North Oakland because my family's house that we moved to out there is pretty far from both of their schools. So that was tough, the change.
I lived in India, where most of my community is all Tibetan. And I came here in 2011 in Oakland. I've been staying here since then. Our rent has increased from $200 to $800, and it's right next to another construction site being built near our house, which is basically a lot of stories of condos. And because of that, the rent is being getting raised.
I'm from India, New Delhi, and right now I live in Oakland. This year, it's like the landowner talked to my dad saying he's gonna increase the rent, house rent. My dad's been negotiating with him, saying don't increase it, we've been here for a long time. But from what I heard from my dad was that he basically sold the whole block. So he was about to sell our whole block too, but then there's a church which is a private company. They didn't agree to the contract, so that's why the landowner hasn't really sold off our block to the company.
What do I like about Oakland? Man, I love Oakland. Man, Oakland is my city. I've been here all my life. Man, I love the air, I love the scenery, I love the people, I love the food, I love the culture, I love everything about Oakland. If I could, I would, when I get rich and famous, I would buy a house in Oakland just so that I can always come back to my roots.
It's my history, my family history out here.
The culture, the people, the food, the
culture, I love my people. I love, just, how everybody is. Don't matter, I don't care what you are, you in Oakland, you just, I don't know how to explain it. It's just, Oakland is probably one of the beautiful places I've seen, especially First Fridays. Everybody coming together on Telegraph. We have a block party. Everybody mingling and talking and stuff like that,
It's really diverse and multicultural. This is my home. I love Oakland.
Art, culture, and language.
I like how I can connect more with different people. since like they're from different race, and then I could like talk more about my culture and they could also talk about theirs.
What I don't like about Oakland is
Everything's getting gentrified. The rent is going up. You know, killing rates, cops, drugs, guns.
I pretty much lose a friend every year, if not 5, every year. You know what I'm saying, and that's been going on since I was 13 years old. And I don't want, you know, my son to have to experience that, you know, losing a friend after friend after friend every year.
I feel like it's kind of scaring us, and I don't like that because I don't want to be scared in my own neighborhood, and I don't want to have to walk around on eggshells and be like, wait, I gotta make sure I don't go here because something might go down and the policemen come and like hurt me. And it's not even the people in the community who are gonna cause that. It's just the police gonna harass people on the streets for no reason.
What I want to change is the image of Oakland. You know, it's not as bad as they think.
We should care about the Oakland natives because we are Oakland. We make Oakland, and this is why Oakland is so wonderful, because of the people here. And if all the people from Oakland are gone, then there's no Oakland.
Thank you for taking the time to listen to these stories. We hope it's given you some insight into the complexities of displacement and gentrification here in Oakland, California. Our goal is to find solutions to keep Oakland a culturally rich, diverse, and inclusive place where we could have development without displacement.